even let me make sure I turn my body.
Yeah, gotta work the angles. Alright, word. Here we go. That's what's up. Late kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing the street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today all year, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, Best Believe It thumbnails. We talking about cartoons, anime, all that good stuff right here. And I got some awesome folks with me. You trying to roll through? You want to be part? You want to come on? All right, come on. Yeah, we ain't gonna stop him. Now, joined by my co-host. Don't be
NERDSoul Jr.
right here. Say what's up.
Hey,
NERDSoul like in the
we
house.
matching today.
See. Gamma got a red shirt. See that?
I got a red shirt.
Anyway, so right over here, you know him. He holds it down. All right, podcast, game, books, all types of stuff. All right, Mr. Cooper himself. That's right, Keith of Blerd-ish. Say what's up.
What up, y'all? Check the shirt. Got the little boot in the Dragon Ball symbol right there. What up, y'all? Hope y'all doing good today on this Sunday. And shout out to all everybody who came to the pop-up earlier. If you're local and you saw this, thank you.
Yeah, and where was that pop-up?
It's at a coffee chain. It's like a local regional chain that's in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Memphis called French Truck. Dope people.
Right.
Been doing it for almost a year at that spot for my Sundays, whenever I do one.
No doubt. You know what I'm saying? Out there holding it down for the people representing them comics. And in the bottom square, you know who it is. You know the deal. All right? Straight cosplay queen rolling through. But she ain't just a cosplayer, all right? She got mad litigious styles for you. All right?
Do it all.
Gamma Rae, what's up?
What's up? It's your girl Gamma Rae, lawyer by day, cosplayer by night, Straw Hat Pirates on the weekends. Excited to talk about all things Castlevania today. So yeah, it's gonna be some good discussion.
Yes, sir. So Castlevania season 4 came out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Netflix dropped that heat on us. I'm gonna throw it. Matter of fact, I'll go on throw it to Gamma Rae real quick. After watching the season, how do you feel about season 4? What's your general, initial reactions of the season?
I thought it got great closure. Mm-hmm. It's a great encompassing of bringing everything together of the series. The fight scenes were just chef's kiss, like Word. All things I love about a good anime fight scene. Even have some good funny moments in there. Made me chuckle a little bit, but definitely a great season. I am beyond happy with what we got for season 4. I'm it's bittersweet because I'm sad it's the end, but it was great. It was great.
We'll get into that too in a second. Mr. Cooper, how you feeling up there?
Man, look, just like Gamma said, chef's kiss, everything I wanted, from the quiet moments to the OS moments. Like, what the hell? Like, damn. Like, it's like you play the game, you know the lore of Castlevania, but when you see it like that, it's like, I am glad this is animated and not real life, because real life would suck. And you would need about 20.
Would not be a good look.
No. Like, hey, I'm happy that somebody got to fight all these things, but it was everything I wanted. Dope. Just had a great time with it.
For me, I'm gonna go on to say this because I've been feeling this for a while, and I don't think I said it in the last season. Castlevania is the single best video game adaptation to any type of visual, meaning animated or live action. It's better
Yeah.
than anything Mortal Kombat's ever done, Street Fighter, Sonic, Pokemon, any of that. You know what I'm saying? And I will defend it scene for scene. Now, this is someone I played one Castlevania game, which is the NES game way back. So I don't know any other lore. I just know that one game. But I've always liked, of course, supernatural horror, supernatural action. So when they announced it and who was working, I was like, oh, y'all got Warren Ellis? Oh, what? I was like, okay, let's see how this works out. First season, I was like, oh, snap. Okay, nice little start. Let's get it started. Even though Netflix always want to give you like little piecemeal stuff, because technically the first 2 seasons is like one real season, but we'll let that slide. Then season 2, I was like, oh snap. Season 3 came through. And we're gonna get into another character. I was like, yo, we see growth. So this season has, for me, solidified this as the best adaptation. Voice acting's there, animation's there, the pacing, the stories they decide to tell, man, the character design, all that, man. There is nothing. We even kind of get our little Avengers moment. Like, come on, man. Like this,
they hit it all.
There's nothing that this thing is
The
missing.
team up.
Yeah, there's nothing that this is missing at all. They do great callbacks to earlier seasons. It's just well done. And it should not end. But with saying that, Gamma did start on it saying, it's sad it's ending. And we did get a report that it was ending. And I know you talked a little bit about it offline with me, Keith. Why shouldn't they end this? And how could they? Because they say they want to spin it off. And I know you kind of told me like they don't need to spin it off. They can just do this. What were you talking about offline?
I guess because honestly, when you say like the lore, like yourself, you played one NES game. I played a few, but the story of Castlevania is really like, it reads like a horror fiction, I guess, Victorian novel. They took a lot of everything and they melded it in right of the characters, like, the ones we'll get deep into, but Alucard, Trevor, because Trevor, even though in the NES video game lore, Trevor is in the game of 3, but Trevor is the prequel to Simon. So, that Simon, he is Simon's father. Or I don't know if they changed up a little bit, but he's his ancestor, father or grandfather or something in the game or something. So this is actually for what we know as the game. I mean, we know it as Castlevania 3 for the NES. So they went with that, and you don't have to, the game goes on depending on how many times you want to play with Dracula, because, he is back, so that's how this goes.
Yeah.
And you see how they ended it just right, where you can kind of, stuff happens and it goes even way far into the future as far as the lore of it in some games when you actually peel back and watch it in order. There's, luckily, thank God, people have explained and chronologized it in order of all the games. So it reads, you can make it like a movie, and that's how it goes. So you don't have to do a true spinoff. You can just continue the lore. So hopefully they just team and they don't do like some unknown Cole Young Mortal Kombat character and make that don't have nothing to do with no game.
I was wondering the same thing, because I was like, I ain't never heard of no Cole Young.
Cole Slaw.
Oh,
or as
man.
you say in Jackson, is Slaw.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Dirty South slang. But
put you know what I'm saying, get you
Blue
that
out.
Nashville hot chicken, you know what I'm saying? Put some slaw on that bottom bun, you know what I'm saying? Catch some of that hot juices, you know what I'm saying? And when I say
Slaw is
hot
the
juices,
thing
I'm
you
talking
don't
about
want.
I'm talking about the chicken. All right? I'm talking about the chicken. All right. This a family show. All right.
Yes.
But hopefully we just get a regular continuation and not a true mad mashup or something else.
Yeah, because when you brought that up, I was like, well, yeah, because the term, like the title or term Castlevania could be anything. It's not like the name of the show is Trevor Belmont. You know what I'm saying? The name of the show is Castlevania. So it can be any, we could jump in the past, we could jump to the future, we could do whatever we wanted.
Like this is literally the beginning of the whole kind of lore, other than even a game where you go back and see what Dracula becomes Dracula. Like they have a prequel like that. So you can go all the way back. You can go maybe even further to how a vampire came to be. But if you want to start with Trevor, the Belmont family is really cursed. And it goes for a while. Like they really are screwed. So they do their job, but that's what they do.
All right, so
and I mean the cousin, not even just straight Belmonts, the cousins too. Everybody.
All right, so check it. Let's go on and get into some of these characters. Now, I would try to save him for later, but I mean, look, we black, so I gotta hold him down first. I'm not even gonna call this man Isaac. I'm gonna call this man Brother Isaac. Because Brother Isaac done grown, all right? Brother Isaac, all right, we know where he came from. We know he was all about revenge. And the brother was enlightened. While he was in his own jail, he was met by somebody, you know what I'm saying, enlighten him, open his doorways. He having deep philosophical conversations now. You know what I'm saying? Look, all right, check it. Brother Isaac is not only one of the dopest characters, but highly slept on, as we see in this season, by the vampires.
Yes.
Highly slept on.
He brought the smoke.
How we feeling about Brother Isaac?
Brother Isaac brought the smoke. He was not playing. He was a man on a mission. He evolved in being on that mission at the same time, but he was like, at the end of the day, this needs to get done before I can evolve and grow with humanity, become more human myself. Leave the past in the past. But before I do, I'm about to whoop all these vampire asses real quick.
Yeah, especially since there's someone where we see kind of like the hunger of power growing too much. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And he's like, look, normally I sit here and read books, but look, this power left unchecked, can't do that. So what we gonna do is going to lay this down real quick. And I loved it, man. Like straight up, I loved it. The way he came through. Yo, Brother Isaac is that dude.
He was not playing.
There's so many levels to Isaac. Like the brother went from joking, he opened his third eye.
Yep.
And you say he embraced humanity, because I wrestled with Isaac at first. Even wrestling him, he was a dope character. He was a man, just far as an anime and just as a fighter, you don't F with Isaac because you ain't gonna live. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
But when he talks, I'm sitting there listening like the thinker pose, like listen, like, all right, listen to this brother. Like, all right, he started having these conversations. He actually said something. I actually said something to my dad one time. Like my dad was just, I don't know, he was anti-technology, just going on stuff like, I ain't a big tech person. I said, well, and I literally said, a hammer is a tool. You can build stuff with it, or you can kill somebody with it. And he said the exact same thing. I was like, look at that, brother. I feel like I feel justified.
Just a tool, man. It's just a tool.
And he said, instead of I'm gonna be the tool, I'm gonna be the builder. He said, I got agency, I got power, I got control. Now I don't agree with him playing with the denizens of hell. But he's like, look, y'all demons and all that, but y'all gonna do some good now. Because I told you.
Because he said y'all supposed to be brought back for like penance or whatever. He's like, who says your penance can't be rebuilding this city so people have a place to live? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was like, yo, look,
I'm gonna need him to get
changed, man. I'm
gonna need him to get some human friends.
Real countries did that. Do you know real countries did that with like their soldiers, like people who were in jail who could build something and actually get to stay in it and to improve their lives. Like Isaac got us actually thinking some dope stuff, minus the the hell remnants, but still.
And Isaac was on a whole level of maturity I don't think I could I hope to strive for, because that whole dialogue between him and Hector, like that's growth.
Yeah.
That's
Growth.
growth. Cause I
Yeah.
would have been like, let's go. You
Well,
want
'cause
these hands
remember-
right now? Cause you played me and you betrayed me. Like, let's
Well,
go.
yeah, but
he was
remember, he
like,
was like, "Yo, we've been a knife all this time. I want to be the hand." So it's like, "All right, yo, Hector, I'm actually mad at you, but see, when I take it to when I take it to the higher self, you want nothing but another tool by someone else. You was just being, you and I were in the same position. Somebody else just manipulated you, brother. All right, I'm going
And
above you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna
above
kill
it
the
all.
person who manipulated you, who took what I thought I loved at the time. And keyword,
Yep.
I thought I loved is like I really was loyal to Dracula, but I realized I was nothing but a slave to Dracula too. Even though he let me be free and all that, I was too loyal. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna rock
Yep.
with myself. I ain't even got it ain't even about you, Hector. But Camilla, though, I am
Yep.
so glad what he did to her.
Ooh.
Oh my God. He did,
They-
she deserved all of that. All of that.
she went from 0 to 100. Like, to me, her level of like crazy trying to take over the world mindset reminded me of how they did Daenerys in the last season of Game of Thrones. It was like, oh, freeing the slaves. I want to bring, help the kingdom and save all these people under the tyranny of the Lannisters and all this. And then she went from that to being like, burn everything down. Like, everybody about to get flamed up. So it's just like Carmilla was like, yeah, I want us to be, strong. We have a good kingdom right here. Let's make us a little bit more powerful to like 1 or 2 little spots to like the whole world. Like,
I mean, it was crazy enough that she was going to try to make all of Europe a feeding pen, which ultimately, to kind of get to something, if a certain character we'll discuss later, if he would have, I'm so glad Isaac, like you said, I'm glad they slept on Isaac, except the main character, the main villain, didn't really sleep on Isaac, but I'm glad Isaac turned him down. He was like, I ain't worried about you, go away. And that really, honestly, because if Isaac would have joined with old boy, who we'll discuss, Belmont would have not made it. In fact, everybody been dead. But
you're right.
Think about it. Because Isaac had his stuff together.
Isaac was very, very, very well organized in his attack.
If that character would have got with Camilla, because Camilla actually was going to do what he really wanted, enough of it.
To a certain degree.
So luckily those two didn't connect, or Isaac didn't connect with him, and Isaac taking her out made it possible for it to be a little bit easier in my mind.
Yeah, that fight scene was dope.
Yes, and shouts to Flexin' Homie came through, said Isaac need his own spinoff. Honestly, I wouldn't really be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad seeing, kind of like his life from here on out, because Homie he could have killed Lenore, but he was like, you know what? Ain't even about you, boo.
And I see
I'm above it all. I'm above it all. I see
my ex-homie kind of got a little thing for you, so I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you.
She be having the blush cheeks when she around him, so I'm gonna let it slide. I'm gonna let it slide. I know he got some of that vampire loving. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let that live. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let y'all chill. But seeing Camilla in that fight scene and her wear down, where like at first she was like, "Oh, I got y'all," and that red blade is dope. So she was like, "Oh, I got y'all," slice him and everything. And then as you saw, just the waves of it, just like, yes, you're more skilled than them and more powerful, but there were just waves of them. There were just waves of night creatures. There's nothing you can do.
I didn't know a vampire as powerful as her could be worn down. And they came with a plan.
Yeah.
Because they needed it, because that woman is powerful. Like she chopped up a lot of people. And I don't know. I mean, we didn't get to see Belmont fight her. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I
don't know.
Yeah, and Belmont was tired. My man,
6 weeks
24,
straight.
48 hours, just like no sleep.
Straight up,
like 6
weeks
he just wanted a nap.
He was like, I'm getting too old for this.
So let's holler about your girl Camilla. All right, because Camilla will lead us into, Lenore, lead us into can I think of her? Striga and whatever the other young lady's name was. I mean, sorry, not young lady.
I forgot.
They old, but they old,
The other
but they look
vampire
young.
sister.
They old
That
and young at the same time.
that vamp don't crack, boy. But like, so Camilla is something. I liked her storyline because even though we didn't focus a lot on her, we focused a lot on her plan and her mindset. And it was good to see how essentially she tore her own self down by not being content with what she had. Because even Lenore was like, yo, we kind of got it made. We chilling. Everything's good. Like, this whole expansion thing, we're going to be spread thin. And then you see Striga out on the front lines like, yo, I just fought against some farmers, regular farmers. And the look in their eye was fear, not of dying, but fear of not trying. Because remember, these humans are still, even though technically you eat them, you know what I'm saying? They're still sentient beings. It's no different than if an animal, since you want to call them animals, if you go to an animal and that animal knows you want to kill it, it's going to attempt to defend itself. You know what I'm saying?
They finally understood how, even though they were farmers, even with their pitchforks, they killed a couple of them, and they actually had the regular soldiers kind of scared. Now, of course, they had the super, ultimate warrior, sun armor, goddess running.
That joint was sweet.
She had the sword from, I don't know. She had one of them Final
that
Fantasy
was like a berserk. That was like a gut.
Shouts to Berserk. Berserk needs.
That was a berserk. That's who they need to. I was talking about this earlier. The studio that did Castlevania, they need to completely redo the Berserk series because I don't know what they had put out, but that's trash. I need them to take that and give us the same magic.
I'm not mad at the Berserk series in general because I really love the story. There's one part of the story, if you never watched Berserk, there's one part of it that is like, you're watching an anime and you're like, whoa, hold up, where are we? You're like, whoa, I thought we were just like fighting with horses and stuff. Where are we?
Yes.
Someone who never knew anything about Berserk, I'm watching it because it's on Netflix. So I was like, you know what? My boy always told me it was good. Check it out. It's like tons of volumes that I've already checked out. I'm gonna get them all. They got the hardcover. They're black. They're dope. So anyway, I'm like, yo, let me watch it. I'm sitting here. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting on the couch. You ain't doing nothing. Why don't you watch Berserk? So I'm like, cool. Let me check it out. It's right here on Netflix. Start watching it. And I'm like, yo, man, this is kind of cool, man. I like these. This is a dope story. Oh, cool. I love these fight scenes. Man, that sword is crazy. So I'm watching. And then there's like 3 movies or something. Yeah, there's like 3 movies on Netflix. And the last movie is the scene that comes out of nowhere, at least for people that know nothing about Berserk. And you're like, hold up. Where are we at? And that's why that stuff, kind of like I was talking with Keith last week about Yasuke or a week before. That's why I'd be like, I don't want to hear anime talk about, oh, well, I didn't know it was going to be fake. Oh, shut it up. I've seen way too many animes where you'll be chilling and it'd be like, you'll be kicking it, watching it and be like, orgy. And you'll be like, whoa, where did this, how are we here?
Right. What does this have to do with the story? Like, huh?
It's like, this is unnecessary.
Still not what I said, but just to let you know, while I was at the pop-up today, I press play on it. I'm still going to support it. I'm still going to hit it. I'm still going to recommend it.
I'm about to pick up them toys though. But
I'm going to get one too.
Back to your girl Striga. I think it's Striga. Striga's the tall one, I think. It was interesting to even see her code where she was like, this isn't.
She was tired.
She's like, this isn't battle. These are farmers. You know what I'm saying?
This is
it
slaughter.
would be different if we were out here. Yeah, she was like,
this was in an open field with nothing. This wasn't no kingdom. This wasn't city or village.
No glory in this.
And on top of that, she's missing real, time with her boo. The way she want to spend time with her boo. She out there got to rub feet and kill people, so she tired.
Like if they pursued Camilla's plan, I mean, like she said, for lack of a better word, their heads were going to be on a constant swivel. Like you can't like relax. Like you're going to have to always be on it because you just never know. Like,
it would be
is there uprising? Is there uprising over here? Uprising here? Like, where's the humans? What they do? Yeah, it's just.
And Isaac
I
proved
live like
that.
that.
Isaac proved that good because if anything, if it wasn't the humans, it was going to be all the vampires are greedy without Drac around to keep them in line and to basically scare the living hell out of them. They just gonna fight each other because they're like, that's what they do.
So it's similar to what Thanos said when he came back, when he was like, his only problem is that he left people alive that remember what the old world was like. He was like, I'm gonna have to start it from the beginning because if there's people that remember what the old world is like, they're always gonna fight to bring it back. You know what I'm saying? Just like these people, they're gonna be like, yo, man, we don't want to be, prisoners or slaves or blood, sacrifices forever. You know what I'm saying? Someone, if not this generation, then the next generation or generation after that, someone's gonna stand up and be the new Isaac or the new Trevor or the new Alucard or whoever, or the next Cypher, who Cypher be coming through, son. But we'll get into her in a second. But yeah, I like to see how Camilla's lust for power burned everything that they had down, and what they had was already a beautiful kingdom that they had. I mean, of course, the vampires, but it burned all of that down. And to the point where even Striga was just like, we riding west. They were like, look, she was like, there's nothing here for us anymore because her lust for power has burned everything we have.
Striga like, look, I got an army, I got my boo, I got my sword, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go fight a real battle or something. Because this crazy woman, that's my sister and all, but my sister tripping, and she got herself killed.
Yeah, and she
then they didn't even check on Lenore. They was just like, Lenore, if she did, they was like, Lenore's gone. Forget her.
Like, she gotta be dead if Camilla dead.
Yeah, because whatchamacallit made a good point about talking about like Camilla's plans are always good. She was the one that got her feet rubbed. I can't remember her name. Please let me know in the chat or in the comments. She was like, is Camilla's plans great or do we just make them work? Like,
but she also said we also that, and I think she charmed their mind a little bit. Or she got some, weird powers that can make you hypnotize you. I know you don't really see it, but Camilla is very powerful. She can and honestly, let's face it, if you don't do her plan, she can kill you. Let's not pretend like that ain't a part of it. I don't know,
man. Maybe Lenore. Maybe.
Oh, I think she can kill Striga. I think
maybe
she can
the
kill
foot lady. I don't know. Striga might be a tough. I don't know, man. Striga don't look like she'll walk in the park, yo.
I'll say this in the video game,
she got some size to her. You know what I'm saying?
Let's just
shout out to all my Husky sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Based on the games, though, when Dracula comes back, you know who usually comes back with her? Camilla. Like, she is not. She is usually the right hand man, but in this story, she wanted to take from him. But in the game, she's like number 2 or number 3. She's like the number 3rd boss usually.
Word.
Is Striga and the old lady is Morena. I think I'm saying that right.
All right, cool. Shout out to Morena. You know what I'm saying? Because she was like, "Yo, are her plans so great, or do we just make them happen?" Like, like she has some crazy scheme, and we go and actually do the logistics of making it work.
To bring some realism, Carmilla is like, you work with people like that. They get all the credit. They do all this crazy ass that you got to come up and make happen, and you got to be like, and they just patting themselves on the back, and you up here just dog tired from making impossible stuff happen.
And then when they take credit, they don't even say something like, the team got it together. They'll be like, I did this. It's like, I'm like, you ain't even gonna say the team.
I've been there.
So this is all you, huh?
Rachel, you know what I talked about before.
Look,
we ain't gonna say it on air, but you know what I talked about.
I do.
I'm dealing with that now. I've dealt with it.
And that's how I feel like that's why you get those breaks in loyalty and ties, or people like it's that constant like head on the swivel. You just never know who's really gonna be down with the cause, because everybody really is just out for themselves. And who just wants to live like constantly being like, can I trust you? What you doing over there? It's just
like that.
No. Even if you're gonna live forever, that's a long like
that's why I
forever being stressed out.
Isaac, like, I'm gonna set all you people free.
Yep.
And
By freedom or by
he
death.
was the main one. Isaac was the main one who was at peace. He was the
Yep.
only time his blood pressure probably was raised when he was battling in the fight. Other than that, he was just like
even
And check
he
Hector
was
got
making
peace.
lemonade.
Let me
Even Hector.
before we get into some other castmates. When did Isaac ascend to his higher brain function? When he got away from them and around another brother. That's all I'm saying.
Shout out to the captain.
Stop hanging with them all the time. Maybe you need it. I'm just saying. When did Isaac grow? All right.
When he talked to an older black man. When he talked to
a black man, put him on a path. You know what I'm saying?
You're like, look, you can kill me, or we can have a talk.
Yep.
Kill me or have a conversation. He was like, I ain't gonna kill you. We gonna talk.
Yep. See, sometimes you need to find you an old black man to put you on some game.
Listen
you know
to your ancestors.
Raise your mind.
I'm gonna rewatch season 3. Season 3 was great.
Season 3 was dope, man. That time
y'all got me ready. I need to do a whole series rewatch.
Yeah, I started a whole series rewatch. I've been season 2 right now, so I'm gonna just continue it on.
I might do that tonight.
Cause season 2, I'm almost at the part where they about to be like, yo, Vlad, what up? You know what I'm saying? Like, I heard it's time for you to die. So
I heard you want that eternal sleep, partner. Let me help you with that.
Let me help you with that. So speaking of people that need sleep, Cypher, wonderful, wonderful woman. All she do is just mind her business. She ain't never hurt nobody. All right. And your boy Trevor Belmont. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
I love them together. I love them together. I love
old
them
married couple
together.
They finally turned into an old married couple. Like the honeymoon phase, the ahs and the we just passionate and we're out here young and kicking butt and all that. Now it's just like, why are you even breathing? Like just shut up.
I don't like how you chew food.
This is your fault. I don't know how it's your fault, but this is all somehow your fault.
I've never cursed before. It's all your fault.
That was my favorite part.
She's like, I've never cursed. It's because of you.
I'm gonna keep it real. My wife has told me that. She's like, I ain't even used to curse before I met you. Yep. Join the party.
Hey, just so you know, fellas, if you're not married yet, when y'all get married, after y'all hit about, say, 4 or 5 years, I just hit my 5th year this weekend. You know what I'm saying? That's right, May 14th. What up, y'all? Oh, yeah. Once y'all hit that time, everything bad's your fault.
Bruh.
Your kid do something bad, that's your fault. If she do something bad, that's your fault. Your influence has made her bad.
I know. I know a lot. I feel it.
I blame my husband for a lot because it is his fault. I never used to be late a day in my life.
Never was late till you came around. So you was never late.
15 minutes early. Never late. People would time they were like, Rachel's there. We got 30 more minutes before we just really got to show up. Now I'm the one that folks is like, you late? I'm like, waiting on him. It's his fault. Somehow it's his fault.
So yeah, I love that about them. The banter between the voice actors is great. Their scenes, the way they're written, their teamwork when they're fighting, and we have fight scenes where they're not just superheroes. Even with Alucard, that we'll talk about later, they're not superheroes. They get knocked around. They get, hit up and pushed around and stuff. It's, they're not just like walking through these villains. And I like that a lot about these two throughout this whole thing. Even when they showed the montage of the 6 weeks, they were like, yo, man, we just need some rest. They're like, it's cool to do this, but we just need some time to chill.
Like, I just want to sit down. I don't want to be around nobody. I just want to rest, catch my breath. Like, I ain't trying to help nobody right now. I just want to sit here.
Because when they got to the bed,
just sit here.
When they got to the bed, it was like, yo, look, I honestly just want to sit down for a few minutes.
I know that feeling.
I
I
just
love
want to
that line.
sit down. Just for
Man,
a
Trevor was
second.
tired.
Every
It was
time I
like I
go
just need to
somewhere,
kick
there's
it out.
problems.
I think the reality, or that, like I said, that honeymoon phase of the adventure and the victories, you know, with Cypher was like she was caught up on that high. So when they like got,
Yeah.
I mean, they won sort of, you know, last season at the end, but I mean, a
But
lot
he said he knew
was
it was coming.
lost.
And he said,
And he
we've
was
been
like,
living your life. Now
yep,
we're living my hell, my life, which is,
Yeah.
I tell you, man, the Belmont's life is hell. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
But the one thing I do like is to this day, you know what I'm saying? Because when we meet Trevor, it seems like he been hiding from it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And Tariq comes through and asks how we enjoy Isaac's story. That joint was the bomb. We covered that already, but brother Isaac, you know what I'm saying? Brother Isaac, that story was dope. One thing I do like is that when the two vampires were watching them fight, he was like, hold up, is that a Belmont crest? Like they know. Even though Trevor's the last one left, well, I mean, technically not no more, but even though Trevor's the last one left, he was like, hold on. Is that Belmont joint? Oh, I might want to.
Like, I gotta be a little
careful.
harder for you.
Like I ain't stretched,
man.
so we're gonna have to. We'll fight them another time. I ain't get a chance to do my stretches. So
yeah, because I was
let's
like,
leave
well,
and
why
come
don't y'all
back.
swoop down now? Like I was watching, I was like, well, why don't they just swoop down now? It's all good. Go
They
on
want to
down
die
there.
right now. Well, one of them didn't want to die right now.
We're gonna chill.
And I really
even
enjoyed.
When he thought he had it, it was like, nope.
I like the part that throughout the season for Trevor where it definitely reminded me of a video game where he would find pieces.
Yeah.
He didn't know what the pieces meant or how they fit together, but he was like, he find a trinket here. Don't know. Let me keep it. Find something here, and then it's like obviously at the end, you know, you go into in the game, go into your treasure trove, and you puzzle put together. Bam, you got like the super weapon. And it's like, this is like a game where you walking around, you picking up little stuff. They definitely put that together.
And I mean, I'm sure the weapon from Crow, I'm sure that's in the video game for real. But I was like, oh snap. I was like, that's the weapon from Crow, son. You just throw
you were old school. Crow?
Yo, Crow, look, let me tell y'all, when I was young,
my God.
you ain't had nothing. If Crow was like on TNT, that's all you had. All right, that was it. Crow, maybe Red Sonja. That's it. Every now and then they'll rerun Star Wars. Nowadays. That's it. All right. You ain't have all the stuff y'all got now.
Good Lord.
That's facts.
That's all you had.
I remember that from my brothers watching it. I was like, what's going on? I don't know, but it was just a lot of
I don't know. It's cool. They got cool weapons.
Right.
I had Cole on Atari 2600 and it was terrible. Terrible game.
I'm sure it was. But yeah, that you know, coming up with new weapons, still not losing the old joints. And then I thought he had gotten rid of the regular whip. I was like, oh no, he didn't keep it. He was like, never that, son. I still got it. He was like, oh snap, I didn't know he had the regular whip too. Cause see, I thought once he got the flame dragon's breath or something, I thought he was like, I don't need this no more. He was like, nah, just in case. Just in case I had to break out the old leather. You know what I'm saying? Just in case. You know,
burn you up the old way. Leather burn.
Yeah, cause he popped Alucard with that joint. He popped him good with that joint in season 1. He popped him good with that joint. So, but it was good to see him leveling up, and then also seeing Cypher leveling up in ways where now she holding the water and the ice. She got the electricity. She like, yo, they're honestly like the perfect tag team.
Yeah, she can do it. Cypher is that woman. She can do it
all.
Rain.
It was raining, and she was like, "You might want to duck. I'm finna turn this into."
Yo, and then she started spinning it. I was like, yo, she dope. She like
somebody you don't want to take off.
Props to her power and her ingenuity with using it, because usually what we'll see in like animated series or even live action, they just use a power very straightforward, and there's never really any any kind of like clever ways to like change up how you use the power. And I'll jump on
Right.
something that I love, Star Wars. Okay, we all love the Force, but the Force is essentially, to a certain degree, I know people want to get deep, but for the purpose of this argument right now, the Force is essentially telekinesis. And I feel like we could use this in a much more interesting way than we do or we ever have done. Just like Alucard and that sword. Imagine someone who had like say two swords and then one double-handed and two swords that was like around him. You can just be creative. Every single Jedi does not have to fight exactly the same. But that's a whole nother thing. Scratch that, get out of the way. In this, she's every season she evolves how she fights with her fire and water and deciding which one to use for where they're at. Yo, man, Cypher's on point, man.
Yeah. And I'm
She
just gonna
created
give her,
exploding spears by heating up the spears and
Yeah.
like freezing like behind them. And like I was just like, who would have? I
the
see you,
best,
girl.
one of the best things she's
Science.
ever done. If you go back to season 2 during that Dracula fight, this is probably still, I still remember this death when she killed, for the say that she's a new vampire hunter, when she did the ice meat cleaver and did that
yeah.
was
Where it went straight
I
up.
never tick her off. She using ice meat cleavers that come underneath you, and these are some of the strongest vampires. Meat cleaver them.
Yo.
When you are evil and she gotta fight you, you getting killed.
Yo,
She's not playing.
Cypher on point. So like that was dope. And then seeing kind of how they ended up with, and this is more over on the voice acting side, like seeing kind of or hearing the voice and hearing the pain in the voice when she's getting ready to leave the new town and how she feels about it, and then seeing Trevor roll up on the horse, just the change of like the sorrow, the despair, and then going straight into like beating him
They're
up.
bickering.
It was beautiful, man. She was it. She like that actor did her point. She did her job, man.
She killed.
I'm gonna say, honestly, I would have preferred if Trevor, if he did say that. I felt like it didn't seem as authentic. I'm like him dying, sacrificing to save like all, and her struggling with leaving, but then Alucard being like, no, we're building community here. We want you to stay. Like if that was the end, I would have been like, oh, this is real. But like literally cut scene 2 seconds later after they had that conversation, Trevor rolls up on a horse. I was like,
give it time.
Well,
give it time.
I think what that was is a way to show, and shouts out to Thomas D. What's up? Nice to see you up in here. I think that was showing that, because I was thinking, I was like, yo, man, at first I was like, yo, man, y'all should have just let him stay dead. But then I was like, oh, Saint Germain needed his redemption. So to redeem him, sort of, his I'm sorry was bringing them back through the infinite corridor and giving them back to the world, I guess. Because he was like, yo, last thing I saw was Saint Germain.
Somehow explain that a little bit more better. I don't know.
And if they do go to the games a little bit, Trevor may not live much longer if they jump ahead anyway. Like because he's getting older, getting beat up. He is kind of mashed up to death right now.
Yeah, he needs a good vacation. He needs a good like 6 months or so of like rehab.
Yeah,
I can't remember if he died of old age or if he just died of general sickness in the games. But like he ain't like
oh yeah,
he ain't gonna live past like by 60. He's gone. Like he ain't gonna live like to be a really old man. So because he just is what it is.
That body done seen some things, been through some things.
Yeah. So it's I'm feeling like that moment was basically, at least from how I perceived it, was like kind of like Saint Germain getting his redemption. Like, hey, look, I screwed you over. Bring you back, and also, I know this is y'all, eternal love of y'all life. I'm gonna bring y'all back, and then I'm gonna take the L for everybody. So it's, you know,
He had
I
nothing
guess I
else
can
to
see
live
that
for.
too.
Like his old lady didn't even want to show her face to him. She didn't say
That's
nothing.
what
She
I'm
like,
saying.
Yeah,
I
she
thought
was
had
like,
played him from the beginning.
I'm
She's just
done with you.
like she's like, this is a place to control where I go and have all these magical adventures. That's it. She got what she wanted. She set
And
the
who's
thirst
to
trap.
say?
He fell for it.
And here's the thing: who's to say the love of his life? She ain't in a better world than that hell that they living in right now. Anyway, she may not want it to come back, which she didn't.
Yeah.
And she like, and then she saw, look what you did, and she put two and two
Yep.
together. Like, yeah, I'm not coming back to do this. Maybe she's in a world with no vampires.
Yeah.
Good word of
So
me.
I'm chilling.
Yeah, like I'm good.
She just
partner.
peeked at him. She was like, "Nah, I'm good."
She like, who all over there? Oh,
She didn't even like wave or be like,
Nope.
oh, she was just like,
I'm tired of
fight.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did all this, and I don't want to come back. I'm not gonna come back to you, you mass murderer.
And with that last scene, just before with death and how they personified death and how they kind of handled it, it came through in a way where it wasn't cheesy. And
Yeah.
I love it.
I like how
It was
the
really good.
last fight scene played out, where it was like, yo, your boy was beat down, but the power of love, boy, the power of love. He got up, he tried to hit him. He was like psych, nah, son. I'm about to put this weapon together.
Whole arm just shot like nothing. He's like, we're gonna do this one-handed, and
Yep.
You saw where they put the budget for the animation budget in the last episode.
Because there's a couple of parts of the animation where it's like, all right, y'all try to be funny. This one part where this woman is pouring food for a child, but it's just panning by, and she's like this.
I'm like, we gotta save that. Save the money. Save the budget.
I was like, y'all tripping. Y'all just being funny now. But I let that slide because I know, like, yo, we gonna see some dope stuff. So I'm like, you know what? Let it slide.
She was an NPC. She didn't matter. She was an NPC.
She ain't important. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I want to get into, last but not least, you know what I'm saying, before we get out of here, the one and only Alucard. You know what I'm saying? When we see him, you know what I'm saying, he lived a rough life. You know what I'm saying? He thought he found some people that he could share his intimate space with. That didn't really work out.
No, not for them.
Well, yeah, not for them. And you know,
Alucard look like the type of guy who be in his castle listening to Drake, being in his feelings. Just being like, I'm too pretty, so nobody's gonna love me for me. They only gonna love me for my looks or use me for my castle. Like, he definitely jammed to some The Weeknd and Drake blasting in the castle.
Hire Superman. Like, first of all, he don't get, like you said, he too pretty. He don't get dirty when he don't want to be dirty. His clothes don't get stuck. His sword stay clean. How? His hair don't even get out of.
But we do know that he doesn't drink enough water, because that scene was, I was like, oh.
That sounded, I was like,
he get dirty when he depressed and drunk. And he's like, I'm turning to Belmont. Let me clean myself up.
That was funny when he said, I'm turning into Belmont.
He's like, oh my God.
Because he said it like twice. He was like, I'm turning into Belmont, yo.
Boy, looked in the mirror like, I got to get my life together.
I would have liked to see him and the head woman of that village. You know, I felt the chemistry.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
implied.
feel like that's the type of woman he needed.
Yeah, it's implied. It's implied that that's going to be the woman to bring him around.
He got that.
Yeah, he
got that.
Yeah, they're gonna do some things. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do some things.
That's his new boo. That's his.
Yeah,
I'd been very disappointed if he slept on it. Like, come on, sir.
Yeah,
she right here.
He saw that.
The moment he gave her that look, like, oh, you funny too, and you can fight.
Yeah.
She brought the smoke. She was with it.
Yeah,
she was going toe to toe with him against the night.
Yeah, great leader. Got the wit. You know what I'm saying? Got the intellect. You know what I'm saying? She ain't scared of no fight.
Was not impressed by him and his vampire immortality power, whatever.
She told him, look, I'm gonna be honest. When you got a good woman, when you meet her and she tell you about yourself, but it's to build you up though, and to make you a better man.
Yep.
Alucard knew. He was like, all right, you told me about myself. All right, I've been a little weird.
Understood.
Maybe I need to chill for a minute. I'm gonna help you do this. Even though she was like going on, like if Alucard was evil, he was like, look, you got your speech out, you done? You done or you finished?
Yeah. Right. Are you
like,
done
yeah,
or are you finished?
All
Yeah.
three of y'all.
Good, I'm gonna help you. all three of y'all. He's like, all right, I'm gonna help you. I'm bored. I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm out here looking pretty in my castle. I'm gonna be pretty for you people.
Yep. Now, Tariq comes through, says, do you think he's gonna have a child? And I guess with Zam. No, not Zamfir. Zamfir is the other chick with the dead. With the
base motel Norman psycho royals she trying to keep.
With the dead royals.
Like,
sorry, not Zamfir. I can't remember her name. But do you think he's gonna have a child? If they spin this off or continue this, you know what I'm saying? Because they could, since this is vampires, they could jump this. They could say, all right, we're gonna jump 200 years in the future, or like 60 years, or whatever in the future. You know what I'm saying? They could jump back. You know what I'm saying? So would you see him having a child with her, and then us seeing some legacy of that way, way down the line?
I'd watch it.
Don't know, because ultimately one of the biggest Alucard stories is Symphony of the Night. So I figured if you want to do any adaptation, you would want to do that. Because that was like the game that kind of helped rebring Castlevania back. And you have Alucard, who's forever immortal. So I feel like they would want to do that story. I mean, you can always weave some stuff into it. But that's one of the seminal stories of Castlevania. So I don't know.
All right. See, I might have to get my Castlevania on now. Now, since it's in the middle of a season, or who knows what they're going to do, now I need to go on YouTube, because I know somebody done put all the cutscenes of every single game together, probably like 9 hours. I'm
telling you, you can watch those videos. It is like watching a series itself of the cutscenes and the timeline. Because there's so many games, including the handheld games, continue the story.
Oh snap! I forgot. So what, they got like DS games or something like that, or something?
All of that matters. All of that is in the lore. That's why it can go a lot of. It goes to the future. Alucard lives a long, long time. So ultimately, he winds up in Japan. I guess when it starts getting a little crazy, but he changed his identities a couple times. But people keep finding him, because his legend of knowing to kind of help humans, he kind of want to be left alone, generally, but he changes things up here and there.
He gets his vampire hunter on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Tariq also said Trevor and Cypher's son is Simon. Could they continue season 5 with Simon? I wouldn't be mad with that. I would prefer them to not spin this off and just have Castlevania season 5 and it be Simon's story, and we just begin.
Well, I think that's what the spinoff would be, possibly. It would be Simon.
Yeah, because technically we don't know what it's going to be called yet. Because it could be something like Castlevania, Bloodlines,
Belmont,
or something like that. You know,
Legacy.
Yeah,
because ultimately, because Dracula he should go mad again. So I'm pretty sure somebody. He either gonna outlive his wife if he don't turn her.
Oh, he definitely gonna outlive her.
So he ain't got nothing to live for but go crazy. So Simon has to deal with a crazy Dracula. So you never know. And then let's think about it. He don't like the Belmonts. Even though he was ready to die, he still was trying to kill Trevor. So a Belmont is a problem for him.
Because he's gonna be like, I ain't like your daddy, and I don't like you.
I don't like your grandpa, your daddy, your mama, your auntie, and them. Y'all gotta go. Because if I do want to just go crazy, y'all like the only bloodline that can kind of stop me or hurt me in some way.
So speaking of Dracula, how do y'all feel about the fact that, Vlad and Lisa Tempest, the fact that they didn't go to their son, the fact that they were like, let's give him closure, we're not gonna bother him, maybe in a couple of years we'll think about it again. Do y'all think that was probably the good decision. Glad they did that. I don't know. I'm just
Yes.
like, go to your
Yes.
boy. I don't
No.
know. I felt
I can't see me staying away from my son so that he can have closure. But I can see from a writing standpoint being like, we got way too much going on in this little town. So let's figure out a reason for them not to go to the. I'm like,
It,
she loves her son. He loves his son. Why wouldn't they go? Or maybe summon him there, like maybe send a letter by, I don't know, Falcon or something. You know what I'm saying?
but on the flip side, though, they went through so much hell, and then you forget. I mean, he did kill his own dad, who was begging for death, and he just kind of probably won't be with his wife for a minute out in the world chilling.
Yeah, a second honeymoon, if you will.
Like we all old. Like our son is like old, so he's like, just go do your thing, man. Like I'll holler at you. I got some time with your mom. I got to spend and do some things before I probably go crazy, try to kill the world again, and you might have to stop me again because this never ends.
Kill the world again. Yeah, because I was like, I was watching that scene like, I don't know what's going to happen to make him go crazy again, because at least from what I know, he definitely goes crazy again because there's more than one Castlevania game, and also because since he's back alive and his wife definitely going to die, I'm sure he's not going to be happy for the rest of his life. Just chilling in the Motel 6 of the day. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to work like that.
No, I don't see it. I would love to see Simon. I kind of would like to see Simon go up against Dracula, to get the first Castlevania, and then come back to Alucard. But if they want to skip to Alucard's story, where Symphony of the Night, you can't go wrong with that. Or even
you can definitely do something like that, where it's like that kind of like subtitle thing, like Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, and then that these 4 or 5 seasons is going to be about that game, and then or loosely on that game, and that would be dope. Because of course with vampires you can kind of time travel in your show, like next season or next, I guess, story that you could tell. You could go 3,000 years in the future if you wanted to, because I mean they don't be dying, so you do what you want.
Right.
Oh man, no. Thomas D said, "Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Drac. You to the LA. I used to get blood from the blood bank." Oh man. Now, Tariq said, "Are you upset Grant didn't show up?" Now, since I don't know anything about Castlevania, no, I'm not, because I don't even know who Grant is. But
is that Grant like the pirate that you free in the game? I can't see the comments, but answer if you want to answer. Like,
is Tariq, is that Grant that you free in the game? Let us know.
Like in Castlevania 3.
Yeah, because let me know, because I have no idea.
I forgot.
Me neither.
I just remember playing the game when I was younger.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That was it. Oh, he said yes. He said yes.
I mean, I wish he would have popped up on like the pirate boat in maybe season 2 or something, like as a character. Or season 3.
Oh yeah, season 3. Yeah, but well, hey, what can you do? But with that said, we have almost exhausted all of the demons. We have almost exorcised them all. But we know in the end, they've all got to go down, way down in the hole. That's right, with death, which is a problem that needs to be solved, I'm pretty sure, later in the series. But before we get out of here, all right, we're going to give it up to the folks that came through, held it down. You know what I'm saying? Right over here, Keith Cooper. Tell them where they can find you.
All right, y'all. I had a good time talking about this. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You can find me at www.blerd-ish.com. That's BLERD-is.com. Got cons coming up June 5th. If you're in Marksville, Louisiana, coming out Gamma's way at the end of June for the Mississippi Comic Con. You can order. I'm still working on the website as well. So while you fighting demons, if you ain't got a chance to see our lovely faces, listen to the audio.
All right, and in the bottom square, Gamma Rae, say what's up.
Hey, again, thanks for having me. I always love talking all things anime with my fellow homies. But yeah, you can check me out on all social media platforms at Gamma Rae Cosplay. I'll be dropping some dope content that I've been working on this week. You can also check out the podcast that I co-host with DJ Young Venom, the Geeked Up podcast at Geeked Up JXN. We got Patron. We got some exclusive content on there. So go be a subscriber to the Patreon page. I do have, as Keith said himself about cons coming up, I plan to do another virtual con for Virtuous Con. I also just got the confirmation today for my panel at the Mississippi Comic Con towards the end of June. So I'm excited about that.
Nice.
The panel will be Relationship Goals Are Doomed, Superhero Edition.
I'm sliding through. Yeah, hopefully.
So yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
be
gonna be good. Well, I hope. Thank you. Please,
that.
I'm gonna need your commentary.
That's what's up. Shout out to the chat token, Black 206, Flexin' Homie, Tariq, Thomas D. Thank you for rolling through. Thank you for hanging with that Castlevania. That energy. You know what I'm saying? That makes you either want to kill or maybe save somebody if there's a vampire or a night creature around. Even though night creatures be walking around in the day, so maybe they shouldn't be night creatures no more. They should just be creatures.
Right.
Night creatures eat everybody indiscriminately.
Yeah, they don't discriminate.
Isaac was like, eat everything. So guys,
hey, by the way,
NERD,
he had a dope night creature. Want the wings.
Oh, you mean the generals? Oh, the generals are straight sweet. Yo, I'm telling you. Y'all don't want it with Isaac, man. Isaac's crew is on point.
Dope.
Squad.
Like, only thing is, if I was Isaac, I probably would have taken that hammer. I'd be like, you won't be needing this. You won't be needing this. But of course, guys, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places. Hit that thumbs up if you like what you see. Hit the thumbs down if you don't. But if you hit that thumbs down, I'm gonna sing Isaac after you. All right? And he don't play. He got a whole squad, son. You know what I'm saying?
You either gonna die or you gonna work for them.
Yup. You either gonna be dead or you gonna be wishing you was dead. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't give no breaks. Ain't no weekends. All right? Ain't no holiday time. So, podcast if you want to listen. Shouts out to Spotify for that music. And from us to you, we're going to leave y'all with PL and Arcatron. We saying peace. That's right, y'all. We out. Y'all stay real.
Bye.
Goodbye. That's what's up.
Yeah, I said it, kill the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the Pack and Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grind together, we all came from hunger.